War and Peace. In this unit, you will learn a dictionary entry for a word with two meanings, learn some abbreviations and acronyms, and form antonyms using prefixes, learn about transitive and intransitive verbs and phrasal verbs, correct, incorrect English, and also to act out a scene without some given expressions. Now, look at these symbols of peace. What are they and what do they mean? Do you think world peace is possible? Here is another symbol of peace. It has three words for peace written on it: Shalom in Hebrew, Salam in Arabic, and peace in English. What do you think this symbol represents? This symbol represents peace in the Middle East. It asks for an end to the long conflict between Jewish people living in Israel and Arab Palestinians living in the West Bank and the Gaza Strip. Children in these countries have grown up with the conflict, and although they are neighbors, it is often difficult for Israelis and Palestinians to become friends. In 2015, there was an increase of violence between the two sides. Many lives were lost in the conflict. Thousands of people were displaced and homes destroyed. It is surprising that cricket has been the harbinger of peace and harmony in the troubled region. A novel concept, cricket for peace, was initiated a few years ago to bring together Israeli and Palestinian children from disadvantaged communities. But has the project been successful in its endeavor of inculcating the old virtues of peace and harmony? Let us now read about a Palestinian boy, Shahade Salamin, who won an international prize. Here the story is titled as Palestinian and Israeli Children Are Betting for Peace. A Palestinian boy who plucked up the courage to play cricket with Israelis has won an international prize from Israel's biggest cricketing organization. So, I have already explained to you in the beginning that both Palestinian and Israeli children, they could not tolerate each other. They hated each other and they could never imagine or think of coming together. But now, a Palestinian boy, he has gathered up courage to play a cricket match with Israelis, and he has won an international prize from Israel's biggest cricketing organization. 3 months ago, 16-year-old Shahade Salamin from the West Bank entered an International Cricket Council Europe competition entitled "How Has Cricket Made a Difference to Your Life?" This para says that about 3 months ago, a Palestinian boy, 16-year-old, named Shahada Salamin, he entered an International Cricket Council Europe competition, and the title of the competition was "How Has Cricket Made a Difference to Your Life?" He wrote about how his sporting contact with Jewish youngsters has given him a new lease of life, and as a result has won a roll-out cricket pitch for the Israel Cricket Association (ICA). This boy has written about how his sporting contact with Jewish youngsters, here Jewish youngsters are those Israeli children, has given him a new lease of life. New lease of life means change in life, na? which means made him to play an active part, and as a result he has won a rollout cricket pitch for the Israel Cricket Association. Mr. Salamin wrote in his story, "All my life I dreamt of being a famous Palestinian footballer until our village was introduced to cricket. The game rapidly became our flagship sport, with most kids preferring cricket over soccer." Here, Mr. Salamin, the boy, Palestinian boy, he wrote in his story that all his life he dreamt of being a famous Palestinian footballer. But their village introduced cricket as sport, and the game rapidly became their flagship sport, which means they no more played football, but all began to play cricket, with most kids preferring cricket over soccer. Yes, soccer is football, so they began to prefer cricket over football. The local youngsters decided to play with Israeli youngsters in Beersheba, even though Mr. Salamin admits that he had concerns. But the Israeli coach's words broke the barrier of fear in me. He wrote that cricket made him more confident. This para says that the local youngsters, the local people there in Palestine, decided to play with Israeli youngsters in Beersheba, which means the cricket, even though Mr. Salamin admits that he had concerns, which means he had fears to play against Israel's. But the Israeli coach's words broke the barrier of fear in him. He wrote that cricket made him more confident. He concluded, Today I dream of a cricket club in Palestine and of becoming the first Palestinian cricketer to play in an international league. I am sure that with those Israeli and Palestinian children who participated with me, we can also realize the dream of peace together." Here, Mr. Salamin concludes by sharing his dream. He says that he dreams of a cricket club in Palestine and of becoming the first Palestinian cricketer to play in an international league. He is also sure that with those Israeli and Palestinian children who participated with him, who played along with him, he could work for or think about bringing peace or achieving peace. The ICS Cricket for Peace program has signed up 120 children, half of them Israeli and half Palestine, who play cricket together in Beersheba or Dimona once a month. So this para says that the Israeli Cricket Association's Cricket for Peace program has signed up 120 children, half of whom Israeli and half are Palestine. They play cricket together in Beersheba or Dimona once a month. The Paris Center for Peace oversees the complex logistics involved in getting permits for the youngsters to pass through Israeli checkpoints. The checkpoints is a place where traffic and people have to be stopped and checked. The accolade has special significance given that in most of the 37 country members of the International Cricket Council Europe, cricket is far more widespread and well-resourced than in Israel. So it is said that the Paris Center for Peace oversees the complex logistics involved in getting permits for the youngsters to pass through Israeli checkpoint, which means the Israeli children, the Palestinian children are allowed to pass through the checkpoints, Israeli checkpoints. They got a permission to pass through it. This approval has special significance. In most of the 37 country members of the International Cricket Council Europe, cricket is far more widespread and well-resourced than in Israel. The International Cricket Council Europe's development manager for Europe, Nick Pink, said that the ICA has deservedly received worldwide recognition for the way they have used cricket as a vehicle to break down global barriers in and around Israel. So, Nick Pink, who is the International Cricket Council's, who is the manager of International Cricket Council Europe's Development Association or whatever it is, said that the Israeli Cricket Association has deservedly received worldwide recognition for the way they have used cricket as a vehicle to break down global barriers. Global barriers are those blockades in and around Israel. Herschel Gutman, Cricket Development Officer for the ICA, said that the friendships that the youngsters build on the pitch continue between matches. The players are connecting all the time with each other on Facebook, as are the coaches. It is building relationships and creating connections. So here it is said that the players, both the players, Palestinian and Israeli players, are connecting connecting themselves each other on Facebook, and as well as the coaches, means they have connection with coaches as well as other players, which means this is going to build up the relationship and also bringing peace. Last paragraph. For the ICA's chairman of 19 years, Stanley Pullman, the award was recognition of a long-standing vision. This was a dream of mine, to have Palestinian kids playing with Israeli kids, he said. It's a wonderful feeling to have world recognition for something that has been so hard to do. The future of the Cricket for Peace program is not certain, despite the award.